Good morning.
Morning.
I'm reading from 1 Kings, chapter 19, verses 1 to 9a. Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done and how he had killed all the prophets with the sword. And Jezebel sent a message to Elijah saying, "So may the gods do to me even more also, if I do not make your life take the life of one of them by this time tomorrow." Then he was afraid. He got up, fled for his life. He came to Beersheba, which belongs to Judah. He left his servant there. But he himself, on a day's journey into the wilderness, came and sat down under a solitary broom tree. He asked that he might die. "It is enough now, O Lord. Take away my life, for I am no better than my ancestors." Then he lay down under the broom tree and fell asleep. Suddenly an angel touched him and said to him, "Get up and eat." He looked, there was a cake, there in his head was a cake baked on hot stones and a jar of water. He ate and drank and lay down again. Angel of the Lord came a second time, touched him and said, "Get up and eat, otherwise the journey will be too much for you." He got up and ate and drank. Then he went in the strength of that food for 40 days and 40 nights to Horeb, the mount of God. At that place he came to a cave and spent the night there. Words of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Will you pray with me? Holy Spirit, do thy will, O Holy Spirit. Come and fill this place with your love. Come and sing your song to our spirits, so that we leave here differently than we came. In this preaching moment, O God, because I know that I am not a worthy vessel of your word, I ask that you remove from me anything that gets in the way of your word being heard. Remove it as far as the east is from the west, so that the words of my mouth and the meditations of all of our hearts may be acceptable to your purposes of grace, O God, our rock, without a doubt, our Redeemer. I'm going to be honest with you. Can I be honest? This past week was rough. I'm not going to lie. The busyness of life had been battering me from many different directions. External and internal, just beating against me. The stress of 3.5 jobs, trying to manage my time, worrying if those jobs would pay the bills this month, the weight of my own unmet expectations, the presumptions of expectations of others, it all seemed to be crashing down on me this week, pulling me as if I had an anvil tied around my neck. And I tried to keep on a good face, to smile and laugh, all the while I was struggling, barely able to stand upright, in my insides a storm. And to be even more honest, in the weight of all of this, I felt dried out, empty. I usually spend 10 or more hours a week preparing the sermon for Sunday. Regular schedule is that I pray and I research and I write. Sunday evening, I look at the texts for the coming week and let God speak through them to tell me which one I should preach on. And something comes my way and I can focus on it for the preparation. But this past week, though, on Sunday, I read the words and nothing happened. I thought, that's okay. That happens sometimes. If I'm really tired. I'll sleep on it and I'll be okay. But Monday came and there was nothing. Tuesday, I go to my weekly pastor's Bible study and we talk about the text that we'll be preaching on, and I throw one of them out because, well, that's what I'm supposed to do, but I had nothing to add to the discussion. Others heard the Spirit, I heard crickets. Wednesday, silence. Thursday, nothing. Friday, I'm at the coffee shop where I normally write, and I'm sitting there for a good hour and a half staring at a blank screen, watching the cursor on my computer flash and mock at me. Looking at the text that I had chosen for the week, couldn't find anything, so I start searching others, and still nothing. And then in desperation, I posted on a pastor's Facebook group that I'm a part of what was going on, and that I just needed some prayer. That I felt dried up and that nothing was coming. And I didn't know which way to turn. And as I was typing those words, asking for prayer, as I was typing those words, the Spirit whispered in my ear, Elijah. And I sat with that. Elijah. The prophet that Jesus met in the Transfiguration. The bold leader, the fearless one who time and time again stood up to power, especially to Ahab and Jezebel. Elijah, the one who mocked the priests and the prophets of Baal and called down fire to consume the drenched altar. And the Spirit spoke to me, read on, son, read on. And I did, and I read chapter 19 of 1 Kings, the text that Carlise read for us a few minutes ago. And I heard God say to me, here's the word for you and for my people. Eat something. Drink some water and take a nap. Yeah, it's a good word. And before I go on, though, I want to set the stage for what was going on with Elijah. We caught the text today at the end of a larger story. Elijah is considered one of the greatest prophets of the Lord. He was active in the northern kingdom of Israel, particularly during the reign of Ahab and Jezebel. Ahab was the second king of what became known as the Omride dynasty. His dad, Omri, usurped the throne from his predecessor. And then Ahab married an outsider by the name of Jezebel. She came from the land of Sidon along the Mediterranean coast. And she brought with her the worship of idols, of Baal and of Asherah. And the queen, as the queen worships, so does everyone else. And so Ahab and Jezebel together tore down the altars dedicated to the God of Israel, the liberator of the Hebrew people, and in their place they raised up altars to Baal and poles to Asherah. And they took the holiest place on the mount in Samaria and turned it into a sanctuary for Baal. And they slaughtered the prophets and the priests of the Lord. They effectively removed any trace of the God that led their people across the Red Sea and across the Jordan River and into the Promised Land, and made Baal and Asherah the state church. Because they had abandoned their God and the worship of their God, care for the poor, the widow, and the alien. God said, I'm leaving you to your own devices. And God sends the prophet Elijah to tell Ahab this, that a drought will come unless there is repentance in the land. And the drought comes. The drought comes for 3 years. The skies are dry. And then the Lord, hearing the cries of the people, even though there has been no repentance, tells Elijah, go tell Ahab rains are going to come. And so he goes and tells Ahab, and Ahab sees him coming and taunts him and mocks him. But Elijah, being Elijah, says, I got this. You and your prophets, he tells them, come to Mount Carmel. Bring all of the priests and the prophets with you. And so Ahab agrees, and he brings along with him 450 prophets of Baal, 400 prophets of Asherah, and so 850 people, as well as the people of Israel, all gather at the holy mountain when Elijah says to them, how long are you going to bounce between serving God and serving Baal? If the Lord is God, if my God is God, follow them. If Baal is God, follow them. Stop waffling. Your king and queen have killed all of the prophets of the Lord, and so I stand alone. But see, Baal has 450, and so I'm telling you, hey, prophets of Baal, build an altar to your God. Build an altar to Baal. Get us 2 bulls, one for you and one for me. I want you to slaughter it and offer it as a sacrifice to your God. But the prophets of Baal, they grinned and they rejoiced because they had finally won over this prophet of the Lord. He wanted to see a sacrifice. But you see, Elijah wasn't done. Offer it as a sacrifice, he says, by calling on your God to rain down fire, and I'll do the same thing. And whoever's sacrifice is accepted by their God will be God. And people cheer. Seems like a fair deal there. And so the prophets of Baal went to work. They built an altar, and they sacrificed the bull, and they started praying to their God. They prayed, and 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 they sang, and they sang, and they sang, and they danced, and they danced, and they danced. From morning until noon, they cried out to Baal, but there was no response. And so at noon, feeling a little hungry, feeling a little peckish, Elijah begins to taunt them. Shout louder, he tells them. Shout louder, maybe your God can't hear you. And so they did until they collapsed with exhaustion. And so finally, Elijah was ready to take his turn. And he took 12 stones and built an altar, slaughtered and separated the bull, laid out the wood and the bull on top of the wood, and dug a huge trench around the altar. And he told them, pour 3 large jugs of water over this. I thought that was strange, but they did it. They pour the 3 large jugs, and he says to him, do it again. So they get 3 more large jugs and pour it on. By this point, the water starts to seep out of the cracks in the altar and down the edge. And he says, one more time. So they take it, and they add more water to the altar, and it overflows, and it fills the trench. The wood is saturated to the point of no more water being able to come in. And Elijah falls to his knees and prays to the Lord. And as he does, the heavens open and fire rains down, consuming the bowl and the water, and covers the altar. And the people of Israel fall to their faces in awe and in worship of the God of their ancestors. And Elijah says, and this is one of those parts we like to skip over in the Bible, Elijah says, now take all of these false prophets and slaughter them, just as they slaughtered our prophets. And the people did as Elijah commanded. Now you know that the Lord is God, he says, go home and eat, because the drought is over and the rains begin to fall. But when the king told the queen what had happened on Mount Carmel, she sent assassins after the prophet. And that's where we catch up with today's text. We meet Elijah as he's on the run for his life, having just won the people back over for the Lord, having just accomplished what everyone thought was impossible, having just called out the king. He should have been on top of the world, but here he was on the run. He was on the run, and the depression and the despair were dragging at his heels. He did everything he was supposed to do. He was serving the Lord the best he could. He was serving as he had been called, and yet it wasn't good enough, and the people wanted him dead. And now he just wanted to give it all up and die. He had given all he had, and nothing had changed. Nothing. And sometimes that's life, isn't it? Sometimes we give and we give and we give until we're running on empty. We do everything we are supposed to do, and what is the response from those who run around us? They send us running to the hills. We give because we know others are counting on us. As parents, we give to our children because we love them and we want the best for them. And sometimes we are met with the super squeeziest of all hugs, and other times we are met with tears and slammed doors. And we give, though, because we love. We give because we care. We care for this church. We care for the work that we are called to do. We care for our classmates, and so we give selflessly because that's who we are and that's what we are called to do. We give because we know other voices are being silenced. We stand at the doors of power like Elijah, calling out unjust administrators that separate families and build cultures of death while wearing the hat of family values and the mask of pro-life. We don't back down because black and brown bodies are being left in our streets. Homes are being taken so that mansions can be built. People are dying because someone needs more money in their pocket. We give and we give and we give because we know that there are those whose backs are against the wall. There are some who want to build it even higher, but we serve a God who makes walls come tumbling down. We give because we have a call. We give and we give and we give and we give until we are empty. When we just can't give anymore. Our well is dry. And we find ourselves staring off into space. We lie in bed replaying the day that was or dreading the day that will be. We worry about how we'll feed our kids, what the day will hold. We sit empty under the broom tree asking, why do we try so hard? And we curl up, our tears a blanket, and our dread a pillow. And even as we lie there, our bed is anxiety because we've bought into the lie that because we are faithful people, we should be better than this. Because we are faithful people, we shouldn't feel depressed, or we shouldn't feel burdened, or we shouldn't feel overwhelmed. We're told that it's because we're not praying hard enough, or we don't believe enough. We aren't living as brightly as we should be, bombarded with messages that it's our fault, that we are weak, and we are somehow deficient, and we have been told time and time again to stop crying, to buck it up, to put on a stiff upper lip, and just move on. Well, I'm here to let you know that sometimes you just gotta let it out. Sometimes you just gotta cry it out. You just gotta let God know you're done. You're done, and you lay your head down under that broom tree, and somehow sleep finally comes. Sleep finally comes, and in that sleep, my beloved, in that sleep, the angels come to wait on you. They will come and replace your blanket of tears with a quilt of comfort. They will rest your head in their hands and gather around you. They will gather around you so that when you wake in the morning, when you rise in the morning, there will be food to eat and water to drink. There before you will be your daily bread just waiting for you, ready. So get up and eat. Get up and be fed by the love of God, by the grace of God. Come, get up and eat. Be filled with the food of mercy. Let it nourish you and sustain you. Let this community gathered here, this community of angels gathered around you today, feed you and comfort you. They are here for you. Let them heal you and renew you. And then if you need to, go back to sleep. Go back and take another nap. It's okay. It's okay, because guess what? It all happened again tomorrow and the next day and the next day, because our God is a good God who keeps going and going. Our God is the God who brought us into a community that refuses to let go. Our God is a mighty good God. We're tired. We're hungry. But our God does not give up on us. They keep feeding us and filling us. They keep being beside us. And as we gather around this table in a few moments, know that it has been set for you. Set for you to eat and to drink and to rest. It is a table of grace, set without pretension, prepared for you. God let Elijah rest and fed Elijah, and Elijah's strength returned. He returns home to Israel, back to the court of Ahab, and stands strong with a renewed fervor and proclaims that God of justice will stand strong in the face of power. I had a rough week. It was dark, but God did not abandon me. God did not leave me. Instead, they surrounded me with a community of friends from around the country who held me and prayed for me and offered me an ear when I asked for it. And in that community, I heard God's voice again. A voice that I thought was lost. A voice that called me by name and said, it's going to be okay. Just lay down your weary head and take a nap. And then get up and eat and drink. And that's not all. This week opened up the truth that comes in many ways. And one of those is that the angels that surround us come in the form of therapists and of counselors. And so tomorrow, I will be calling to make an appointment with a therapist. And that's okay. It's okay, because that's rest. And I encourage any of you who are going through a thing to consider doing the same. Hopefully you got with your bulletin this list. It's some recommendations of some low-cost and sliding scale therapists and counselors. If you need it, use it. If you didn't get one, they're on the back table, the desk in the back. And for those watching online, I will post these in the comments of the video. Because sometimes angels have the title of a doctor. This week began in a dark place and ended in a place of hope. It ended in a place of hope because God refuses to give up on you and refuses to give up on me. And I promise to pray for you this week and ask that you pray for me, and that the angels will wait upon us. Thanks be to God. hymn of response is not the one listed in the bulletin. It's the song, Give Me Jesus. Some of you may know it, others may not. It's simple, just follow the words as I sing them out. Margie will also help lead with the singing. But let's stand and sing, Give Me Jesus. It begins, in the morning when I rise, in the morning when I rise, in the morning when I rise, give me Jesus.